So hey, hi. In this video, I'll be walking you through another project kind of thing. We'll be looking into as a whole as a full stack project only. It will be having backend written in Express.js and front end obviously in the React. We'll be using Tailwind in this, and yeah, we'll learn a lot. I think we'll learn basically how to do the refresh token, access token, as well as like the model segregation, right? So first of all explaining, we'll be getting into the problem statement first and my approach after that. So, and how I solved it, I mean, the entire problem statement. So, okay. So problem statement was really simple. It will be having two UIs. It will be having a developer UI and the client's UI. So what's going to happen is like in the developer UI, you will be having after the login and sign up, the developer will be creating an onboard. I mean, he will be filling all the details, everything like his skills, his tech stacks, and previous work experience, previous education experience, everything like all the onboarding details he will be filling. After he fills the all the details, the one record would be created for that specific developer. And from the client UI, from the client page, he will be seeing all the like the developer details. So if the client logs in from his system, he will be seeing all the like the developers that have already onboarded to this platform. Okay. So we'll be looking into the backend first of all, how actually we have segregated these things. We'll be having first of all from a developer perspective, from the developer point of view. We'll be having the user form, obviously. We'll be having where we'll be, having all the details like the passwords and all, email and passwords, everything. Okay. So this would be the user form. After that, we'll be having an onboarding form, right? And we'll be having two collections, separate collections for educational purposes. I mean, educational details and as well as the the professional skills. I mean, professional experience. Okay, so both are the experience I have segregated in two separate collections. We'll be looking to the code. It will be clear for you, I guess. So okay, so first of all, I will show you the folder structure. That would be really good. So there's the index.js. There's the entry point of the application. So what you can do is you can write this application in another file and like do all the things. So I have three routes. So user router, I have onboarding router and client router. So these are the three routes I will be exposing to the front end. From the user router, we have four APIs. Sign up API for both developers and client, and login API for developers and as well as clients. So for the sign up developer, we have the sign up form, obviously, and we'll be doing the email and password, authentication for that sign up for creating a user. We'll be having email and password. So what I'm doing is, let's say if it's not there, then obviously it will throw the error. So if it's there, let's say the developer is already signed up, then we'll be throwing error. Okay, it already exists. Developer will create. Then if it doesn't, then it will just simply create those things. And what I'm doing is I'm again after the creation, I'm again validating okay if it's created or not, like properly if it has created it or not. So with the developer.id, I'm doing a select so that while getting like I don't want the password and a refresh token, right? So those are the things. So if it's not there, then something wrong has, I mean, the creation haven't been successful. So we'll just show him an error. If it does, then no issues, then developer is created, right? We'll be looking into the UI. So this is the UI for the developers, for the remote engine developers. And if I create, let's say ABCD, I mean, forgive my UI. I mean, I haven't given much time to the UI. It's just a simple UI. So this is the MongoDB. Pull out this. So for now, developers is empty, right? So what I will do, I will create something, and it will go to the login page. Okay. So how my developer will look like? So there's a normal just okay. So before this, I will show you one thing. I think it would be really good if I show you that one. Okay, this is the user route. Okay, user model. Okay, I'll show you the model. I think that would be better. So there's the developer model. There's the email, password, onboarding. I'll explain what onboarding is. So before saving, what I'm doing is you just has the password. Okay. And what I'm doing, there's a schema, right? So in the methods, I can actually put more functions to it, and I can access anywhere in my code, right? So generate the access token, generate the refresh token. These both are same only. I will take a call by function and then return that. So after that, I'm exporting. So there's the developer model, and it has been created. Okay. So we'll log in. After that, we have the login row. There's the login, right? Login is like not, it's pretty like, maybe it might be like complicated or something, but it's not. Like email and password we are taking, okay, and we are again checking, okay, email is there. If it's not there, then developer that doesn't even exist. And so what I'm doing, developer dot is password. So again, I'm checking that, okay, is password is if it is correct or not. This will come from the models method, like one method I have explained, right, in the model that I have written. So it will check for the is password is correct or not. And after that, if it's valid, if it's not valid, then it is an invalid token. And from there, I'm taking this and this variable. So calling this function. So it's going to do is generate the access token. It will just generate normal token. So developer instance, what I'm doing is I'm again creating an instance. So you actually have to create an instance for that, right? So if you create, that is ultimately a class, right? So class, you create a class and then access those methods that is inside the class, right? So you take the method and then you, because I was passing the callback, so you get the token inside that callback, right? So I'm getting the token and returning it to access token. So that's how two tokens will be created. Now what I'm doing after the login, what I want to do is that I will save the refresh token inside my user, like the developer. So what's gonna happen? So developer.save, I'll validate. So what it does is it won't again validate everything. Like if its length is there or not, if it's email or not, it will bypass every validation. It will just simply save that particular refresh token into your user. Okay. So I'll log in. So let's say my password cd right. So if I log in here, it will take me to the onboarding. So how my login thing? So for now, developers doesn't have any refresh token, right? Now I will just reload it. So you'd see that a refresh token is there. So how it's gonna happen? It is again saving that thing. So if I show you here, in the user route login developer side, so what's gonna happen? This will run, right? So it's gonna return the access token and the refresh token. So what it will do, it will just return me the in the response itself. Okay. So these are the options, cookie options, as you know, HTTP only. So that no one, like, not everybody can like just simply edit that cookie, right? So that's how things work. Anyway, so these are the like the login and login and sign up. We'll go to the onboarding thing. I'll show you what it does exactly. So this is the onboarding model. Okay. So onboarding model would be having a developer ID, and so developer ID is the creation, like the developer that is pointing to, that it will point to. So this is the developer's first name, last name, normal phone number, email, skills. Okay, skills would be having array of strings, like maybe Java or something, Java or maybe Node or maybe JavaScript, whatever it is. So professional experience can be like list of. I'll show you the professional experience as well. I hope it will be clear. So professional experience would be having company name, tech stack, and skills used. So it would be array of string only. So onboarding ID would be this ID. Like whatever this will create, we will save that to this onboarding ID. So now what's gonna happen? So the parent is the developer. After that, onboarding. After that, the professional experience or as well as educational experience. So these two things would be the child of the onboarding. So we'll save the onboarding ID to uh, the professional experience as well as the educational experience. So similarly, the educational experience, because the thing is, I'm saving professional experience as the array of strings, right? So there can be multiple educational experience. There can be multiple uh, like professional experience, right? So it would be array of strings, and we'll save the ID. We'll refer that after that later on. So this is the education experience and refresh token, obviously. And yeah, these are the things. And this the educational model and the professional model is almost the same. Just the differences will save the company name and tech stack and skills used here. And similarly, like the education experience, we were saving the onboarding ID, right? So onboarding ID will save in the professional experience as well. So these are the like normal, I'll say. So I'll save it, I guess. So what's gonna happen? For now, I haven't. So these are the things. It is completely empty. We'll look into it. Okay. So let's say I'm creating a user. So skills, let's say Angular, Django. Okay, so for skills, getting these skills in the drop down, I have created another API. So which will actually give you the Angular, Python, or I mean anything you want. So it would be pop off. Let's say company name XYZ SaaS. Let's say SaaS. Tech stack maybe Java or something. Skills used maybe tech stack maybe React or something. Skills used maybe JavaScript, I guess. Okay, so React, if you enter, it will just create one thing. So if I submit, then company name, let's say it will be SaaS, right? So education experience, if I let's say put maybe let's say Stanford and maybe okay. Oh, it's a degree name, so let's say computer science, CS. Okay, and school name maybe Stanford or something. So if I submit, then you'll say their degree name is CS and Stanford. It's like okay. So now if I submit here, wait a sec. So if I submit here, all fields are mandatory. Okay. Okay. I don't know what's happening. Okay, I have to check on this one. I have to check what's the bug. So in the first render, it comes like okay. Okay, I have to check anyways. So I'll show you the how the model actually works because that would be really interesting for you. So in the onboarding, this is the parent, right? So what's gonna happen? I'll go to the onboarding API only. I think that would be really interesting for you. So this is the onboarding API controller. I mean, so let me pull out the route. So there's the developers, right? So for example, okay, so I will show you how actually this middle work actually works. So what's gonna happen before creation of the onboarding form, we'll be getting the cookie and we will be sending to the backend for the user verification. Okay. So what's gonna happen? It will take the access token and let's say the access token is not there then on unauthorized and if it's there then we'll do a find by id with the id and obviously I don't need the password and the refresh token. So if it's not there then obviously invalid access token. If it's there then in the request object only we'll be attaching our user. So after everything is done we'll go to the next thing. So what's the next thing? We'll go to the onboarding developers. So we'll be getting first name, last name, phone number, skills, professional experience, everything will be built up and we'll give it to the request body. So we'll just checking these are basic checkings. And let's say the email and phone number. With the email and phone number, we'll be verifying, okay, if it's already onboarded or not. If the developer is already onboarded, then no need to onboard again, right? So if it's there, then you are already onboarded and then please recheck. Okay. And so let's say skills, what we are doing, like I'll show you the skills API, I guess. So for skills, there's the skills. Okay, so in the drop down you were getting many skills, right? So how it is going, so this is a normal skill generator normal function which will actually return all these things. So it will be having label and value. So based on this I'm showing it to UI. So in the controller I'll be showing you uh, okay, so here we are, I guess. Okay, so this one was the skills.map. So we are extracting the basic like values, item dot values. And what we are doing, we are just creating the onboarding, I mean onboarding data. So developer ID would be like in the middleware, we are attaching the user, right? So in the user, we'll be having dot ID. So that's the developer ID. So we'll put it in the onboarding API. I mean onboarding request object. So the developer ID is there, and user will get from request dot to user only, as because this thing is already done from the middleware part. Okay. So this will be creating. So now let's say find by ID. So what we are doing, we are again doing a database call for like extra security purpose. Let's say if it created or not, if it's there or not. So we'll again do a find by ID. If it's there, not there, then something is there, like maybe DB has crashed or maybe something is wrong. Like, so onboarding, please try again. Okay. But let's say if it's there, then what we are doing a filter dot filter, and if it's, let's say, length. Okay. So what we are doing is we are doing, actually the thing is, there was a bug previously, what from the front end only. I think I have to update this logic. Okay. There's nothing like uh, so the main logic has to be like the onboarding ID. I have to again like edit the onboarding ID to all the like the professional experiences. So what I'm doing, uh, I'm taking the professional experiences, all the professional experience, and in that professional experience, I'm attaching the onboarding ID because my onboarding data is already created, right? So from that creation, I'm taking that ID and putting it here so that all the childrens will get the parent ID. Because for us, like the professional experience is the parent, and our like the okay. Okay, sorry. So professional experience is our child, and onboarding is our parent. So that ID needs to save in both the things, like educational experience as well as professional experience. So that's what I'm doing. There's nothing like this. I will remove. Obviously, there was a bug from the front end, so that's why I was handling that. So I will remove this part. Anyways, so what's gonna happen? I'm just simply doing an insert many, nothing else. So in the developer professional experience, I'm just inserting all the arrays once at a time. And what I'm doing is I'm getting the IDs. So after the creation, I'm just getting the IDs. Then I mean that's it. So similarly for the education as well, doing the same. Now in the parent, the educational experience would be array of IDs, array of object IDs. Okay. And what I'm doing, I'm just doing nothing. I'm just saving it. That's it. So after this, what it will look like this, right? So this saving, it created in the child and it is getting the ID and then saving it to the parent. Now what's going to happen in the onboarding, we'll be having, okay. So, so this is the, okay. So what's going to happen is developers onboarding has a connection with the professional as well as the professional as well as the educational experiences, right? But the thing is, we have to connect the developer to the onboarding, right? So I will draw a, rather than this. So, okay. So this is the developer. This is the onboarding. Okay. This is the educational. And this is the, let's say, professional, right? So this connection is done now. Okay. This connection is fine. These IDs I'm saving here. These IDs are saved here. This ID is also saved here, right? So this connection is done. But the thing is, developer and onboarding details should be connected, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save this ID to the developer so that what's how it gonna look. So in the developers, this onboarding ID is there, right? 085. I think I will zoom in a little bit. So Z 085 is there, right? So this is the 085. So now my entire application is connected basically. So if I do a query in dev, I should be getting all his details, like everything, like this skill, his even his like personal skill, like the professional skills, his education experience, everything, right? So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, yeah. So what's gonna happen is I'm taking the developer and saving that ID and then again saving that, right? So my onboarding is done, definitely. Now, so going into the front end, there's nothing like in the front end, if I'm being honest. But in the login, we are just saving this cookies and we are just navigating those things. Okay. And in the onboarding, I will show you, I guess. What is the onboarding? Developer onboarding. Okay. So developer onboarding, I'm doing the set form data and there are many use states, obviously. Okay, so in the headers, I'm sending the authorization date. I mean, from the cookies and access token. I'm taking the access token and giving it to the headers for the onboarding developer so that I can get the user out of it. Okay. So get skills. I'm doing a get skills, and those are like use effects, normal logic only. I'm building everything. So here I'm building everything, and I'm putting it to the set onboarding data. So if it's fine, then message would be there, and it will just reload simply. And these are the things like one by three. I'm doing flex normal to create those boxes. Anyways, So these are the things like for the developer's point of view, and we'll go to the client. Okay. So this is the client sign up. Client sign up, almost the logic is same entirely. For sign up and login, we are doing the same. We are saving the refresh token and we are saving the, you know, I'll show you where it is. So controllers, okay. And this is a pretty good logic. I mean, getting all the, like, if I search for the all the developers, then his entire thing will come. So that one was an interesting thing. Okay, so talking about the code hygiene, for responses, I have created another response object. For generating tokens, the functions are completely segregated. For error as well, we have created a class constructor. So every time I create by a new keyword, it will basically create another error object for me. So skill generator is another thing. And talking about the client, yeah, so client, those things are completely same. I'll show you the client model. So these are the email, name, refresh token, everything. And yeah, these things. Okay, so client route would be having onboarding. So the basic JWT is basically the same thing. Developers for the onboarding. Get developers. Okay, so get developers data for. Okay, so if I log in, let's say I create it. So my client, I hope I don't have any client data, I guess. Okay, I don't have any client data. So ABCD 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I sign up, it will log in. So there's the same. I'll show you still. So email and password, hash password, and let's say password ABCD 1, 2, 3, 4. If I log in, so you'll see I'm getting the developer data, right? So I'll show you what's happened. So refresh token, there's the same logic. There's nothing, no difference in that. So getting the developers data was, I think that will actually make your concepts really good about the entire like application. So we are doing a lookup query, okay? So we are doing in the developer. So in the developer, we'll be having the onboarding ID, right? So what's gonna happen from the onboardings? What you're gonna do? Local field is onboarding. So onboarding will be having the ID. Foreign field in the onboarding, that dash ID should be matched, right? And as onboarding. So what you what I'm telling, go to this model, this onboardings, and get me the data. The local field is onboarding. I have an ID in the onboarding. Go to the developer onboardings, search that, and give it to me, and save it with the help of onboarding only. Like, okay. So unwind, you have to do an unwind. And after that, what I'm doing, lookup query. So what this will give you, it will attach the onboarding details, right? But still inside the onboarding details, we have the professional as well as education experiences, right? So in the lookup query, what you're gonna do, go to that experience, go to that. Now this onboarding, whatever you have saved like this, and this would be onboarding only. So if it's XYZ, then you have to save it like XYZ. So onboarding dot professional experience. So professional experience is like, okay, I'll show you. I think that would be more clear. So this is the so go to this professional experience. This is the same key. These two should be same. Like how we access the objects, right? Object keys like onboarding dot professional experience. So go to that. Foreign field is ID only. So go to the developer's professional experience model. I mean collection. Search this ID and give it to me and save it with the help of the professional experience only. Okay. So similarly, the same logic. So lookup query is really interesting and really powerful, I think. I was doing like you can actually see like how much thing. I mean, even in the populate also you will get many bugs. So populate actually like in the populate, what's gonna happen if you do a nested populate, right? For two keys, only one key will come. Like it will actually populate only one data. So that's a really big issue. I think with the populate, I mean, I've searched for like couple of hours, not able to like solve it. I mean, might be the issue. I think there was no code issue, but yeah, anyways, so populate didn't work. So after that, I moved to the segregate command only. So anyways, how will it look? I will show you. I guess that would be really interesting too. So we'll go to the front end, developers onboarding, client onboarding. And I'll show you the data how it is actually. So if I save it, So this is the developer's data. Inside this, you will getting onboarding data, as I've told you. Inside that, you will be having the education experience. That would be another object. And similarly, the professional experience, right? So I think by this structure, you are actually clear like what we're trying to do here. So yeah, I think these are the things you can go to the sign up login. I mean, UI based, obviously, I could have made the private routes. That is on another feature I think I will add in the, I mean, I will add it something. So what's going to happen is like client won't be able to directly access the developer's route. I mean, without again like logging in, right? So you have to log out. After that only you will be again you will be able to log in the developer's UI. I mean developer's page, right? So those things I think from the front end I need to do. API is already there, like the the things how to check the access token and validate okay if he's from the developer or the client, right? So yeah, I think this was all about these things, the front end as well as back end. And yeah, I think these are the things. Backend is deployed in the cyclic, and front end I'm getting some issue like in the building, in the build like there was some failing. I think will I be able to show it? Okay, leave it. I think. So, anyways, so yeah, this was all about this project, and really learned a lot. Uh, I mean, cookies and like the problem statement as a whole, and like building, architecting everything. How will the data flow, and how we have to segregate these things. So yeah, I think this was all about it. Thanks a lot. Till the end.